Wow, oh wow. I mean, if you've been long anything for the past week in this market, you've been getting kind of bent over, haven't you been? But with that being said, I do think that there's one stock in particular that makes sense going long, at least for a short-term bet, and that stock is Enphase. I'll explain. So yesterday we watched Enphase report their earnings and they missed. They missed on earnings per share, they missed on revenue, their guidance missed. I mean, everything missed. I mean, when you see stuff like that, especially in the market right now, with Nasdaq being down, what is it, over 3% today, the largest percent drop in over 2 years, you would think Enphase would be down like 15-20%. I mean, just missing everything across the board, plus the broad market doing what it's doing. But I mean, you would be wrong, right? I mean, Enphase finished up 12.8%. I mean, now that's significant. When a stock does something that it's not supposed to do, we normally want to pay attention to that. So because of that, I opened up a position today. As we look on the screen right now, Enphase, I opened up 1,300 shares at an average price of $112.30. And I'm currently up about $5,500 in this position. Now, why did I open this up? Well, it's quite clear. If you look at what Nasdaq did today, and if you look at what Enphase did today, there's a stark difference, right? Enphase had one of its best days in a while. I mean, that volume looks great. Nasdaq, I mean, absolute opposite, right? If you look at the 1-minute chart between the two here, I mean, just look at the difference here, right? As Nasdaq was selling off throughout the day here, Enphase was getting bid up. Now you might say, well, why the hell am I even looking at Nasdaq? Why not the S&P or the Dow Jones? And I'm looking at a solar stock. Well, because most of the growth names are in Nasdaq, and Enphase is supposedly a growth name, so I would compare it against other growth names, other players in that space. And again, Enphase did not act as you would expect, right? As we look here on these earnings that came out yesterday, right? They missed on normalized EPS, they missed on GAAP EPS. The revenue came in lighter. Everything that you do not want to be seeing. But here's the thing. When it comes to capitulation of sentiment or positioning, you normally see stuff like this happen. Where you might have even seen this yourself, where you might have had a stock and great earnings were reported, and the stock just goes down. And it just starts going down day after day after day, right? It happens. Extremes are finally hit. In some cases, in your example there, maybe there were no more buyers. Just so you understand a little bit better, right? With Enphase right now, maybe there were no more sellers. That is it. Sentiment hit rock bottom. That could be the case. The stock has not done well this year. Let's be clear here. It's not partaken in any bit of the rally throughout 2024. If anything, it's actually down on the year. It struggled to get over 140. Late last year, we saw as low as $74, came up, but clearly it's been holding between $100 to $140 for most of this year. Earnings came out today. Again, they came out poor, and Enphase went up. Now, here's what I'm going to say. This is how you play this, by the way. If Enphase were to take out that candle, right, this candle right here on Tuesday, as in go below it, this whole premise gets invalidated. That is it. You get out of this trade. Due to the size of this gap, you might have to take some pain. So you do have to size the trade up accordingly. You're talking about, about 12% pain. You might have some slippage because you want to see how it actually closes up on the day. 12% from where it is right now. Unless that happens, you keep the trade going. There's a good chance, in my opinion, that it can go up to $140. Now, I'm going to say this too. Enphase has about 10% short interest. One of my fears here is because today was such a negative day for the equities, this time we could bring up SPY, that people that were shorting Enphase decided to cover their shorts today simply to reduce their exposure to the market. It doesn't, for some people, it doesn't matter whether their exposure is long, whether it's short. It's a matter of just not having that exposure, having cash available. So I do see this sometimes. You might see this yourself, that on days when the market is down heavily, some names that are heavily shorted tend to be up or not down as much. And likely that is because people are simply exiting out of their positions. I'm not exactly sure if that's the case with Enphase. It could be. So what am I looking for? I'm hopeful that tomorrow, you might be watching this tomorrow, this would be Thursday, July 25th. I'm hoping that we would see the markets go up and Enphase go up with it. If that opposite were to occur, if Nasdaq, let's say, were to be up 1% and Enphase was flat or slightly red, guess what? I'm killing this trade. We do not want to be seeing that, because stuff like that tells us that, wait a minute, it might have been up due to short covering. So what does that actually mean? Well, once the market kind of stabilizes a little bit and confidence returns, all the shorts that covered out of Enphase, they're going to return right back and be like, well, the earnings were bad. Stock deserves to be much lower. I'm going to re-short it right here, right? So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully that's not the reason why Enphase was up today. Hopefully it's up because we've reached full capitulation when it comes to the buying side, right? There's no one left to everyone that wanted to sell the stock has sold it, and those who have shorted it have already shorted it. That is it. That's what we're hopeful for. That's what we're kind of betting on over here. So I just wanted to make this quick video to kind of share my thoughts. And I'm in this position right now. I'm going to have a general video about the market, probably maybe this weekend, maybe next week. It's been pretty hectic on my end. I do have a lot of thoughts as to what's going on right now and how my portfolio has performed over the course of this month. And but if you enjoy this content, if you find it informative, throw me a like. You can also subscribe for more content. Other than that, thank you for watching and have a great day.